What's up? We're back. This is a sequel to my last video, if you want to watch that first, where I told you about the worst night of my life. Today I will be talking to you about the best day of my life, night of my life in high school. This is a comeback story, and I will be immortalizing it here for you. A lot of people know this whole story. I've told this story many times, so this is the last time I'll ever tell anyone the story. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm wearing a suit today. I have this rule with my tux where if I chuck on a new tie, it's a new tux, so it's fine. I mean, I've worn this a couple times, but tuxes are expensive, and ties aren't that very expensive. I have a red tie on, because this is what I was going to wear to my last Christmas ball, but I heard everyone was wearing a red tie or accessory, so I actually switched to green. I have this kind of metallic green tie. It's got like little silver bits. It doesn't look green, but I swear it is. I think it's just the lighting, but it's very green. So yeah, that's the reason I'm wearing red. And the light has also changed to red because red is a very important color in the story. So I've told the story many times before, but I haven't told the whole thing with the whole lore until right now today. And the only other person who really knows the whole lore, well, I think they might actually be missing some stuff, and that person is my friend Matthew. Here's a picture of us together. That was actually for a charity gig where it was just a double O concert where we only played my songs. That is a story for another time though. So yeah, let's get into this story. Of course, we're gonna go back to our friends Pain. We love Pain here at the double O channel. So we're gonna be using this to show you the timeline. So this is the night in question, 2021 night. It was October or something. But this actually started back in 2019. I think we were 14 at the time, but we had our own bands. I was the lead singer, obviously. We had a drummer, and at the time just a bassist. We had another rhythm guitarist at some point in 2020 or end of 2019. But it was just the four of us at the beginning. We were called Crash Course. We would rehearse Fridays after school till like 6 o'clock. And this specific Friday was, so there was a battle of the bands between like the houses. It was called House Rock, as it was split into houses. Like each house had a band. Me and Matthew were actually surprisingly in the best house, so that was crazy. It was a red house, which, okay, there's a color theme. And we went to watch it after the band rehearsal, and I remember sitting there thinking, yeah, I'm gonna win that. Because when we watched it, our house actually came third. They did a really good job. In my head, I was like, okay, when it comes to next year, I'm gonna win this. So after that, I was really inspired. I was so excited. I remember like waking up the next morning thinking, oh, I can't wait till next year. I'm gonna crush it. So 2020 pushed on, and the brand broke up. I left, and then they kept going with another name, and then they got a new singer. She quit, and then they just disbanded. So and as time went on, it was starting to come up next year, but of course it was 2020, so COVID hit, and this Battle of the Bands thing kind of got cancelled. I mean, I knew the guy who was doing it at the time, and he told me that it wasn't really a performance one. They just recorded a video for it, but they weren't allowed a singer. So I was actually put on standby for rhythm guitarist. He actually broke his hand, the rhythm guitarist had before. So I was on standby to see if he gets better or if he can play. But yeah, he did recover, so I wasn't even part of that one. Didn't get to go on that, so another year goes by. I've waited 2 years to do this performance, right? And this year, it's my kind of year's turn to like organize these things and get the band together. We had like 2 house captains at the time. We had a house captain and a vice captain at the time. I was talking to the head of the house and I was like to him, listen, I'm just gonna take this over, it's gonna be fine, okay? He's like, have you checked with the house captains and stuff? I was like, nope. They didn't mind, so it was cool. They actually joined the band, which was kind of funny because I got to be in charge of them for once. And just before the Battle of the Bands competition, there's like a classical music competition. There were chamber groups that got submitted in. And me taking over the house rock thing, I also had to do this house music competition and organize a group for that as well. So, and a person in that group was Matthew. So my old bandmate was in this group that I was leading. I have to say, they did really well. I'm really proud of them, but we came third. Absolute shambles. No, we should have won. Maybe not, because every other house had like a really good like classical instrumentalist leading them. My group kind of just had me. So yeah, our soloist came first though, so overall we came second. I remember sitting in the church where it was being done, and the news broke that we didn't win, so I remember sitting next to Matthew, turning to him and going, we'll bounce back, House Rock's an easy win for us. So after that loss, we started really pushing House Rock. Well, we tried to. For the whole like rehearsal period that we had like a month between the 2 music competitions. our entire band never rehearsed together at all until the day off. I think we had 1 hour 2 days before the actual thing, and then we had 2 hours on the actual day, and that's all the time we all had together as a band. I mean, me and Matthew had run it with the other singer, like just his parts and us singing. That's the only other practice we had, and that wasn't even the whole band. Going into the band competition, I don't know why I was so confident, but I was like, it's fine, we got this. I actually got in trouble as well from the head teachers because apparently I was a dictator. I chose the song all by myself, which is true, by the way. They were telling me like, you didn't let anyone else contribute. I was like, that's not true. I asked everyone and they all said they didn't mind. So, and plus our lead guitarist wanted to play the song and he knows the solos and stuff. It was in my range as the lead singer, so it makes sense for us to do this song. For those curious, it was Paradise City by Guns N' Roses. So the event was on the Friday night. The Wednesday, we had 1 hour practice, which, if I remember correctly, people just kept leaving. So it wasn't really like a proper practice. The drummer hated the whole competition at the start. He did not want to play, but he was the only person we had, so I had to keep convincing him like, no, we need you, please stay. Yeah. Also, what didn't help is I kept saying stuff like, one of the music teachers came up to our class, and I remember this vividly. He asked us if we're excited for the competition, and I just said, I'm excited to win. So on Friday, we were the first to get sound checked. Our sound check was the first time us running through it together. We didn't have a proper ending because our song was too long. It had to be under 5 minutes, and Paradise City is over 5 minutes and stuff. So in the actual sound check, we sounded awful. We did not know where to finish. It was so awkward and it was terrible. So we had 2 hours to clean up the ending, make sure we all sounded good together, and make sure everyone came in on time and actually put in the work to hopefully give us a chance, you know. During that 2 hours as well, this is an awful situation. Me and the head of our house, who was on keys, we both had a singing exam the next week. So during our only 2 hour rehearsal, we both had to dip for 15 to half an hour to run through our songs with a pianist who's going to play on our exams. So we were really pushing it, but luckily, the thing is, everyone in the band had gone away and learned their shit. So everyone knew their stuff, we just needed to put it all together and see how it all sounded. This was really stressful for me at the time because a lot of people had been talking a lot of shit to me. I obviously didn't really help it by talking about how we'd win and stuff and how easy it would be. But there was a lot of expectation because that, you know, the forest had dropped, the mountain had just dropped that year. So there was a lot of hype for my performance. So it was very intimidating at the time. But yeah, a lot of people were like, yeah, when you're not that good, you know, the forest sucked. Yeah, stuff like that. People were like, oh yeah, we've been practicing for 2 months every week. I'm like, damn. Why? You're just wasting your time, you know? I strive for minimum effort, maximum result, and that's like on everything. Exams as well. How much minimum effort can I get to get an A, you know? Not pass, an A. I always aim for A. We got through our rehearsals, we cleaned up the ending, we found an amazing ending for the song. And yeah, we were just ready to go. We were first on, and my whole team, I have to say, I hope they're watching this. You guys all crushed it. I love you all so much. I watched the footage back because it was live streamed because we couldn't actually get an audience. There were obviously still some audience members, like people in the bands were there and their friends. So it was still like a reasonable crowd. Yeah, we were first on, we crushed it. I was on fire. I don't know why I was so confident. I was so happy with it. And then I watched back the recording and I see my whole band members were also all performing, which I told them, no matter what notes you play, as long as you look like you played them right, it's cool, okay? So I love my band so much. Thank you all for participating and putting up with the awful scheduling. Our scheduling wasn't really bad. It's just the fact that we were all doing so much stuff at the same time that we couldn't properly coordinate and get more rehearsal time. And I was kind of scared because we were all really performing and we thought other bands would just copy what we did because of how big a reaction we got. But none of the other bands really performed. No, obviously I'm kidding. I enjoyed a lot of them. The difference between our bands and their band is I, being the leader, I watched the 2019 House Rock, so I knew what the judges were looking for. Fake it till we make it, and that's what we all did. And we made it, you know. Obviously, we won. For some odd reason, there's still like discussion on it. Whenever I'm in a group with one of the other bands, like they always say, oh no, we should have won, we should have won. It's like, I'll always say like, no, yeah, you deserve second place at least. To every single one. To even back up how confident I was at the time that we'd win, I even hosted the after party. And how I invited people is genius. Don't know. I would send them this message. Some of them are probably watching this and they're gonna remember getting this message. I sent them HRAP and then question mark. And a lot of people were telling me, why don't you just invite people like a normal person? And I sent HRAP to a bunch of people. And if they didn't get back to me in time, and they asked, what does this mean? I could just say, never mind. I didn't have to invite them. Genius, Owen. Thank you. And if they did hit me back in time, I'd just explain it's the House Rock after party. Kind of unconventional way of inviting people to a gaff, but hey, it worked. Got the perfect number, but I could have had a couple more. And what I mean by that is, I'm gonna link the story to the first part. Ladies and gentlemen, this after party was great. My parents decked out the place, shout out my mom and dad. Let me link this back to my last episode where I talked about why I probably didn't get invited to the New Year's Eve party. Because of this gaff. I told all my friends, hey, come down, see House Rock. It's gonna be a great time. You're gonna see me win. I'm kidding, I didn't say that. I wasn't actually that confident. I was the only guy singer there who was performing that night, and I was definitely the worst, I will say. I will say this, every other singer was better than me. I told my friends, you'll get to see me win, and I told them we might be doing something else afterwards. The interval came for the judge to decide on his decision. This was like a 5 to 10 minute interval after everyone had performed. I mean, I know for a fact the guy already knew. He was probably just working out the other places. He already knew who won, you know what I'm saying. All the lights turned on and it was just kind of open. You could stand up from your chair, you could go talk to the other performers, tell them well done, congrats on getting second place, and stuff like that. And I ran to the stage and I looked out and none of my friends were there. Mind you, my friends were all in my house as well, so they would have been rooting for me to win. They should have just showed up. They weren't at House Rock. I had one rule for this party, you were only allowed to show up if you were actually in one of the bands. That was my only rule for this party. And they weren't in the bands, but I was still gonna let them come if they came to House Rock, you know. And they didn't come. I go up to the front of the stage, look out over the audience, and I don't see them. I kind of just suddenly go back to talking to the other band members. A lot of people were saying like, well, congratulations, Owen. You weren't as bad as I thought you'd be. And I was thinking like, well, you know, if I was awful, then, you know, what are you saying about all the other bands? But yeah, we went back to our seats. The judge announced we had won. We all celebrated, and then I quickly remembered like, oh wait, you knew you were gonna win, so I like calmed down. And you can see in the live stream like me telling my band members to calm down, like we knew. I wasn't allowed to give a speech or anything, but I still dropped like the first couple lines of the farce into the mic. And then we split. It was a good time. Everyone kind of rendezvoused at my house, and the rest was history, man. And yeah, that was the best night of my high school life, man. And people did come up to me when I was in my normal friend group and saying, Owen, thanks for the party, man. Loved it. Which was really awkward for me because all my friends were like, yeah, why didn't you invite us to that? If you were at House Rock, you would have been there. I started in 3 other productions at school, each having 3 nights, and they didn't show up to a single one. So yeah, that's probably why I didn't get invited to the New Year's Eve thing, because I know my friends, they hold grudges. I will say the House Rock night was worth losing the New Year's Eve night, I will say. Definitely. Got to talk to some amazing people, made some good friends. And it wasn't just the best night of my high school life. The house captain and vice captain and my friend Matthew all said it was their favorite high school. It was one of the highlights of their high school career, so I owe that all to me. To round this off, it definitely wasn't just me. I don't want to come across as that. My whole team did such a great job. I really do hope they're watching. If you're watching, please message me. Tell me that you did, because that'd be nice. You know, and from this, I got asked to do a lot more concerts and stuff, especially the Double O music helped, but yeah, it was a good time. It started in 2019, and to be honest, Matthew was there for it all, so shout out to Matthew, especially. He actually joined me in other bands as well, really appreciated him. To all the other bands, I'm sorry you suck. Double O baby. This is the last time I will ever tell this story because I'm sick of talking about it. I think a lot of my friends are sick of hearing about it as well, but this was the best night of 2021.